Welcome back. We here with another episode, the Knucklehead Podcast. I'm your guest and host, Quan.
I am your guest and host, Malcolm King Mal. I love that we say guest.
I know.
As if, hey, we're in your living room, wherever you're at. You welcome us in. So we're the guests in your home at the moment.
Yep.
But right now, come where we at.
Here we go. So on today's podcast, we're going to actually discuss a couple of things. So the first topic we're going to discuss, three major topics. One, dealing with standards, both from a woman perspective and man perspective. Second one that kind of pivots into this discussion a little bit further is 50-50. Do you agree with 50-50? Do you disagree? Why or why not? And the last, which is usually the toughest question, is, how do you balance finances and relationships, particularly when you're an entrepreneur, and what that can mean for you as far as your journey and where you want to be at and your goals. So, without further ado, let's jump on in it. So, the first topic of discussion is, now, as it relates to men and women, is there a standard that men and women should abide by when it comes to being in a relationship or, carrying each other? What are your thoughts on it?
Is there a standard of how they should?
Or what are the standards as far as it pertains to men and women?
Got you. So, the standards that I see in today's world, and we were talking about this offline, but let's talk about this thing right now. Listen, men are held to they got to have everything going for themselves. They got to they want. It don't even matter their weight to some women. If the man can take care of a woman, provide, do all these different things, he's the one. A lot, and I say a lot because I don't want to say all. A lot of women, if a guy's like working at McDonald's or anything of sort, he ain't got the bag. But on the other end, the other spectrum, man, if we see someone and we think they're beautiful or they're attractive to us, and then we converse with them, it doesn't matter if they're at the bottom of the bottom or where they're at. For most men, I say most because I don't want to say all. We connect with them and we vibe with them. Yeah, I feel that's the difference, and we'll go deeper into it. I already know, but just to give that answer to that answer, it's a double standard.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely a double standard, but my thing is like being okay with certain standards, right? Like you said, like men can go out like the things that men value, women don't typically value. We're different, right? We're the same, similar, but we're different. Like, I don't care how much a woman made. I don't care how much, anybody I was ever interested in made. That wasn't a selling point for me because in my mind, as a man that I am, I'm a provider regardless. So you having your own money is just a plus, right? But I think a lot of times people get caught up in that. But I also think from a woman's perspective, I can see why they're like, I'll need to be with someone that's provided because they're natural nurturers. They're not, when we were cavemen, they weren't going into the woods and fighting. But to your point, now this is where I got to pivot. I don't know how many people are going to agree with me. This is where I pivot. Society, I think the problem we're facing now is that society has put this standard of equality for women. Women have, had the same characteristics that a man can do. They can make just as much money, et cetera, right? Education and therefore. So now you're in a position where you're trying to, as far as men are concerned, we're trying to navigate, okay, do I still stick to those traditional roles, or is this new thing that society's pushing that women are independent, they're getting dressed how they want, do everything they want? Am I supposed to uphold that? It's kind of hard for men, I feel like, to find our identity because it's natural to us to be a provider. But if you were the woman who thinks she's the baddest thing walking and she's the head of your relationship, whatever, how do you balance that,
Man, listen, so I like the traditional, but if I feel like you cannot come and tell me, oh, well, I want the old days, and then I also want today's world.
Right.
And then, no, if you're going to come out here and you want to go out here and grind and do what you need to do, well, let's live up to that.
Right.
Like, don't tell me I need to go ahead and take care of this, and I feel like I'm going into the other topic, so let me stop. But
go ahead.
Take care of this, all this, and you just living your life.
Yeah.
Nah. But even to that, so society has really messed up today's world. And then, bro, a lot of your women, they single for a reason.
Right.
They single for a reason. They come out here, they go get BBLs, they go get their lips done and all this, and they think that's the ideal thing for, oh, this is why he's gonna want me.
Right.
But they lack conversation, they
Right.
lack understanding, they lack empathy, they lack all these things, because in today's world it's telling them, hey, well, if he ain't got a bag, or the ones that do like certain types or whatever, if he ain't got a bag, if he ain't got an audience, if he ain't popular, if he ain't popping or whatever, I don't want him.
Right.
I don't want him. So, bro, society messed up today's world completely, 100%.
Yeah.
These women, no offense, they're not trash, and like that. So the word trash don't mean like horrible, but they trash.
Mentality wise, yeah. No, I agree with you. I definitely think it was a lot easier. Like when our grandparents were growing up, you didn't have like this huge like social media element where like you're constantly like seeing, you know, people that may be doing better, people that you aspire to be, or even like for women, you're seeing all these different, you know, type of guys. But honestly, a lot of times I tell people like social media is not real. Like if you base your real life expectations on social media, you'll be disappointed every time. Like, you know, when they say, oh, if you want to be a millionaire, sign up for this course right now. Right. Realistically, you're not going to be a millionaire just because you sign up for that course, right? And I think social media, and in some way it has helped us, but in a lot of ways it has hindered us because we're missing that human element aspect. Like to your point, I think it's imperative that two people come together and build upon it. Like, I shouldn't be doing everything. You shouldn't be doing everything. And if you're not going to work, there's other ways to add value. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about cooking, cleaning. Those are stuff we can really pay for.
No. If you're not going to work, the house should be clean. I should be eating.
I'm saying like
excuse my friend. Hell no. I'm eating. Hell no.
He hot. He triggered on this, so I love it. But this is what I'm saying though, right? So like typically when people, you know, women ask, what do you bring to the table? Okay, I bring blah blah blah. They always mention cooking and cleaning, but my mentality is like, if you helping me make this $1 million business or whatever, we can pay somebody to do that. So that's true. In all reality, anybody can clean our house. I mean, thank you for doing that, but that doesn't help us get to where we want to get, where we're financially independent. Right. You know what I mean? I feel like that should be the goal.
I'll go ahead. My bad.
No, you good.
And so if that hey, what do you bring to the table? When they say cooking, clean, that's to me, like you said, that's nothing to the table. But if I'm taking care of everything, I need you to bring peace. I need you to bring peace. I shouldn't come home already trying to figure things out, and then I'm coming here stressed off of X, Y, and Z. Now I'm cleaning and cooking, and I'm like realigning my mind. Why can't, hey, now let's talk. Let's chop it up. What these things is, give me peace. Yeah, bring other things as well, but like peace, and the guy should bring peace as well. Don't get me wrong.
100%.
It should go both ways, but man, that conversation as far as what you bring to the table, I feel like, man, I don't like that. I don't like when people are like, what do you bring to the table? I get it.
Yeah.
But then I look at it from a standpoint of, first of all, if I wasn't in your life and you weren't in my life, we already had two different tables.
Correct.
Now, why can't we just join the table and make our table bigger?
That's a jewel, and I agree with you. Like, that's always been my mentality. Like, if you bring, like, forget the table. Like, there is no table. You bring what you bring, I bring what I bring. We have a potluck right here. Now, ultimately, that's going to be more than both of us. You know what I mean? I don't know.
And we just build on it.
Yeah. I think people get so stuck in, oh, I want to be a wife. I want to be taken care of. I want all my bills paid, which, like, I get it. But I feel like if you're doing it the right way, that will naturally come. That will naturally come. You don't have to put that on Instagram and say, oh, I need this, I need that. I think men are willing to do that if they have the right partner and they're bringing peace and stability. You know what I mean?
Oh, my God. Hey, man.
Let's go, man. It's Knucklehead Podcast, baby. This is what we do.
What?
We three episodes in. Why not?
Yes. This topic would.
And we wanted to throw a little controversy at you guys. You know, when it comes to business, you know, it's real. We have difference of opinion, but we agree on a lot of things. But we really want to, you know, weigh in on life and really understand like everything entrepreneurs go through and some of those challenges. And this is actually one of those things that a lot of entrepreneurs face. You know, picking the right partner.
Oh, we got to talk about that.
Go ahead.
I know, but we got
time.
As an entrepreneur, the standards of an entrepreneur as a man and the standard of an entrepreneur as a woman. Now let's just go into that, because that so I have in my relationship, I'm the entrepreneur, I'm the CEO. On the other end, 9 to 5. So you have it where it's like
clashing. Yeah,
because with me, how I look, you work 9 to 5, your schedule is set, your
fixed.
job.
Yep.
But when I'm grinding, I shouldn't have to interrupt my day because I should be fixed as an entrepreneur. Because I mean, I should be fixed more than the 9 to 5
Right.
because I have to do everything. But you run into these things where it's like boom, 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 and man, we can talk about it. Come on, that's a hot topic.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
no, but no, seriously, I think like being in a relationship with somebody that understands that entrepreneurship side of you is pivotal because ultimately, like, you need that support, right? Like, if you're trying to, because most entrepreneurs, to be honest, like, you're dealing with you're dealing with and facing and finding new approaches to deal with overcoming no's all day
right.
long, right? That just comes with the game, right? Whether
Mm-hmm.
it's you're selling a product, a service, or whether you're offering some type of assistance, those are typically, it's always the know that if you can understand how to get over that no, that really determines your
Right.
success. So when you're dealing with constant no's and then you come home to someone and they're like, why are you doing that?
Mm-hmm.
It definitely can be like discouraging. And you are a product of your environment. If you're in an environment that's full of support and optimism, then ultimately you'll be a product of that. If you're full of a product of sentiment, and that's not going to work, and a bunch of naysayers, your life will also reflect that. You are the environment that you saturate yourself. Now, I will say, as a child, you don't have so much to say, but as an adult, you absolutely are the CEO of your circle and your surroundings, and you determine who gets that access and who doesn't, ultimately for your success.
I agree. I feel on the other end, if the lady was a entrepreneur
Mm-hmm.
and the man was the one,
Yeah. Power
lady
dynamics.
get to do whatever she wants.
Power.
There's no don't interrupt me. I'm doing this. But on the other end, if it was the man, not all, some. I'm gonna
Not
keep saying
all.
that.
That's a caveat before y'all try to tear my man
Yes,
apart.
but some, I feel like if the man he's this entrepreneur, he got to pivot everything. Boom,
Yeah.
boom, and that ain't right. That's not right. That's not right.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, but then I think again that comes with that society, media propaganda that they push, that women are independent. When you're an entrepreneur, you need to give up everything. But it's like, yeah, men have to go through that too. But we also have to be a present father, a present husband, present spouse, things like that. And that
Right.
can be very overbearing, especially when you're with someone that doesn't seem to understand your perspective
Right,
on life. You know
right.
what I mean? So I agree. Like, having the right partner, being an entrepreneur, is definitely huge if you're going to even have one. Some people don't even say, hey, I'm just focused on my goals and my path, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I definitely think you need a balance of both.
Yeah, as long as you don't got a spouse like Diddy.
No, yeah, no Diddy's like Diddy. That's an episode in itself, because that man right there, man, I'm still flabbergasted by some of his actions, and he's from New York, so I'm really like, man, I have no comment on that one. But like, we already kind of jumped in this a little bit prematurely. But as far as 50-50, like, now, are you for that or are you against that? Because you did mention, like, when you're an entrepreneur as a woman, there's different expectations as if you're a man. So does that also apply when it comes to a 50-50 relationship, or do you not agree with that?
So I'm gonna give you the old answer, then I'm gonna give you the answer today.
Okay.
The
What's the
old
old one?
answer, I was like, hell nah.
Mhm.
Like you I mean, no, 100, no, I wasn't with it. I was
Okay.
with 50-50,
Okay.
100% 50-50
Gotcha.
before. And the reason is first of all, we live in today's world and bills are actually going up. So I don't
Inflation's
see why
another side.
I should go out and spend 100% of the money on every bill that we have, and you just out here stacking, and that money ain't coming to me, right?
That's true.
So that's how I was. That's how I was before, right?
Okay.
But now
Mm-hmm.
it's situational. I'm very big on situational because I've had it where I was on the bottom side of it,
Mm-hmm.
where I was broke, didn't have nothing,
Mm-hmm.
and someone was taking care of handling things. So when I
Same here.
started going through that, when I went through that, it opened my eyes to being like, hey, whoever up, we up.
Mm-hmm.
And if we both up, then we just both do what we need to do.
Both thriving, right?
There's no I in this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a we, and let's figure this situation out,
Mm-hmm.
because we're gonna have hurdles. But if you lean on, like, if you just have it where you just stuck on yes and no in that situation, what's going to happen? That's why a lot of people break up, That's why a lot of people go different ways, right? Because they're stuck on 50-50 or they're stuck on 100%. And then when situations like, say if I lose my job and I can't be 50-50 right now. Well, why you yada yada yada, and whatever, vice versa, whatever. Or if I was 100% and I can't be 100%, now you got to come and take it. Then we end up going different ways because we never have a true connection or understanding. We never understood
Right,
that it
not a
was a
team.
we,
Right.
right? If you pick a side, you actually pick an individuality instead of a team, as being inclusive or exclusive or whatever the word is. You get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So I'm situational.
Yeah.
But if you got money, we finna split the shit.
Yeah. I don't know. This is my thing. I'm like, I'm with 50. I'm with it. Like, to me, 50-50 don't always have to deal with financial, right? Like 50-50 for me could be like, all right, I'm gonna focus on the bills, and like you said, like the money that you're making, like let's use that for investment. To me, that's a good 50-50 because we're able to take care of our bills, but we still are, working towards a common goal. My issue, to your point, I agree with you, is like if it's like this expectation that, okay, which typically it is in a relationship, hey, you're the man, you're the provider, you need to take care of everything. Granted, now back in the old days, like I have a master's degree, and that's a big achievement. But compared to like my grandparents and stuff, I'm doing okay. But it's like I could be doing, if I was in their era with the credentials I have now, and like our money, we have to be realist in that our money don't go as far as it once did, right? Inflation is like, especially now with election and everything, is through the roof. So like this idea of like splitting the bills, or it actually helps you both. Like, and my thing is, if I'm with you, why would you not want to split the bill? Because if I don't have to spend all my money, you don't have to spend all your money. We still end up in the same position, saving a lot more than we would. If I spend all my money, but then like your birthday comes up, you're not gonna want to spend your own money
at all. You're gonna be like, take care of.
Yeah, so I agree with you. I think it's definitely a situation. I also think you just gotta understand, like, have that discussion. I think a lot of couples don't have the discussion, like, okay, how much are you making? This is how much I'm making. This is what I can, and this is what I can take ownership of. Can you take ownership of this? And kind of like you said, working in the middle, because ultimately the bill's gonna have to get paid either way, right? Like they're not going anywhere. So to put all that pressure on one person, granted, it definitely falls to the man's side, which is fine. But I definitely think there's a sweet spot in the middle where, maybe if you're not paying all the bills, you're contributing 50-50 in another way that's relieving something. Because I think, like, as long as you're relieving something that I don't have to worry about, I can work with you. You know what I mean? But if you're not in that position, it's like it's very difficult to work 50-50 because it's like you're taking care of all the bills, you're being that provider, but then you have a whole nother list of problems that requires you to handle. So then it's like, it becomes a lot. So yeah, 50-50 is up. It is very much situational. Definitely agree with you on that.
Man, these sugar daddies messing it up.
Oh man,
I'm telling you, social media
is a death of relationships. Seriously.
So a lot of people want to be in relationships, but they hold themselves back from that relationship. Like a lot of people want to start businesses, but they hold themselves back from that, right? But the relationship side of it, they, like I said, they go to Miami, they go to Colombia, all these places to get all this done. And it could be, not for all, insecurities. 100%. They put it on social media, make it seem as if it's confidence.
100%.
And then they get their inboxes flooded. Nothing wrong with that. And then they have people that only want to pay for them for the moment, and they're wondering why they don't have long-term relationships.
Yeah.
And I look at it. If your man is like, "Hey, babe, all right, boom, look, you want that?" and y'all have a conversation about it, it's your body, do what you want. But if you and him are on the same page, okay, cool. But you gotta understand, we don't care. I don't care about it. We don't care about it.
I really don't know any guys that's like, yo, my girl gotta have a BBL.
That's what the video was about. You said cap.
No.
That's what the video was about. You said cap. Yeah, that's what the video was about. You said, hey, that's what the video was about. He said cap.
What I was saying was, I was saying, like, no, I wasn't saying what you with the videos, cap. I was agreeing in the sense that, yeah, like, men don't care about a woman getting a BBL. Like, to that guy's point, I agree with him. Like, y'all competing with each other. Like, a guy could care less. Like, if I got you, I got you. Like, it's not about. I've dated girls with no butt. I've dated girls with a nice, like, that stuff is like, So for me, like I agree with you. Definitely a lot of cap. And social media definitely don't help. They definitely normalize it. It's not normal. Like the amount of this is what's crazy to me, bro. Like because I feel like we're old enough to remember the '90s. Like before, like even when people got work done, it wasn't like
Crazy.
broadcasted to the
Right,
world. Like
right.
you know what I mean? Now this new society is like, yo, you didn't get your lips done. You
Why
didn't
not?
get. Why not? You didn't get your. They got this new surgery where they can make you grow.
Are you talking about me
6 inches.
right now?
Yo, but
I thought about it.
hell no, man.
I was about to come to the court dunking.
Oh no,
No.
way.
I saw that and I was like,
As
bro,
I'm just like,
your body is weird now.
Yeah, and I'm like, and my concern from like just health perspective, because I try to be a health conscious. You know, I'm like a little bit crazy with that. It's like this stuff ultimately is poison, right? This stuff, BBLs, whatever surgery you get in your knee has an expiration date. Right. So what do you do when that date comes?
I never thought of that.
You screwed. Like you stuck with that. Like that stuff that they implanted is gonna stay in there and rot. Like that you're rotting away day after day. And that doesn't make sense to me. Yeah.
Because when you get older, every now and then you wrinkle and stuff.
Even when I got tattoos, I know these is probably gonna fade.
I was thinking of that.
Like it's natural. Like unless you're really taking care of your body, and even if you really are, like when you get implants and stuff, I think you gotta sit on bed rest for like a month or two. It's just like, why you even put yourself through that?
That's a lot.
You bleeding, like it's a lot for me.
No insecurities for everybody.
No,
but for a lot of y'all.
Yeah. Listen, live your life. Listen, I don't judge anybody. I'm just saying, like there's definitely a health risk. Like DC Young Fly lost was the mother of his children, his wife, due to getting that surgery. And I'm pretty sure if you ask that man today, you know, if you know what you knew now, would you even allow your wife or your significant other to go through with something like that, or at least have more discussions about it? I'm 100% certain he would say absolutely. Like I didn't know what I know now, so. You know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You don't have to change your body. Now, if you want to do that for yourself, you take what comes with that. But just disclaimers, most guys don't care about that. Just putting that out there.
That's the main reason why we're talking about that part, is that most of us don't really care. It's the conversation. It's how you carry yourself as a lady.
Right.
And same thing as y'all look at, well, the ones that don't care about the money, how y'all look at us. But hey, I feel like the comments gonna be crazy.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna be coming.
We're gonna have fun with this one for sure.
Here's a question for y'all: what are the different standards between a man and a woman when it comes to a woman approaching a man or a man approaching a woman? Would you approach someone that's broke? If it was, hey guys, would you approach a woman that's broke? Ladies, would you approach a man that's broke, or would you converse with the man that approach you that has no money but trying to build himself up? Be real now. And also, what is it when it comes to 50-50? Would you allow yourself to be in a 50-50 relationship, or hey, no, that person need to take care of it all? Quick, what does that look like? Because the reason why I asked that is because there's we have to deal with finances no matter what when it comes to relationships. So to break that down, how do you deal with the finances when it comes to relationships, and what does that look like? Like, are you like going from bill to bill? Like, what? Talk to me. I know you had that question, so I wanted to.
Yeah. So I mean, this is something interesting fact actually. One of the leading causes for like separations and relationships not working out is finances. Ironically, so obviously with understanding that information, that data, you get to this place where you understand that this is a pivotal challenge in our relationship. Like obviously this can dictate whether we succeed or whether we separate. So it has to be some type of comfortability in having those discussions about finances. And I know, and this is on me, like I didn't always do the best job doing that because I was a very introvert person when it comes to my finances and my dealings, because I always had the mindset, well, if I do something and never told anybody and fell at it, all I gotta worry about is me. But if I sit out here and invite the world into it, now I got the world looking at me, and sometimes you can share your blessing or your gift or your opportunity with somebody and to the wrong person at the wrong time, and that could be like detrimental to your success. So I'm very, picky choosy. But to get back to the question, I think that definitely, like finance and relationships go hand in hand. Like, how can you honestly say you can you see a future with this person when you don't know like their spending habits. Do they spend a lot? Are they conservative? You know, are they saving their money to invest, or do they not have anything to invest? You know, what's their credit like? Loans with, you know, these are boring black and white, you know, verbiage, but honestly, they really hold a lot of influence in your relationship because again, nobody wants to be in a relationship where you feel like you're getting pulled into all this debt and you know you just got this margin of debt that you got to overcome because that can be tough. Like if you had an 800 credit score and you with somebody that's not at least going in that same direction, they pull you down. You know what I mean? Like, and again, I think you really just got to have those tough, those uncomfortable conversations and really be transparent with it and say what you want, what you're looking for, where you're at as far as your financial goals, and that's important too. I think if you have your financial goals before you really dive into a serious relationship, it allows you to know who you are and what you identify at. And then when you're presenting this to someone, now they can either agree, see where you're coming from, or they can say this is not for me. Right. Either way, you get an answer that you can move forward with. So that's my approach as far as like, in my opinion, on finances and relationships. What about you?
So I've been in relationships that I didn't know, and then when we got deeper into it, I started paying attention to spending habits.
It's a big one.
I'm someone that like every dollar I have has a percentage behind it. So this percentage here, this percentage. So if I make $1, it's broken down to the penny and percentages of where it goes. And the reason for that is because I don't know what tomorrow holds, but I know if I put some of this into some type of investment, I know I get hungry. You know what I mean? I know I want to be a blessing to other people because when you bless, so everything. But when you get into, I've been in relationships where individuals, as soon as they get $1, I gotta do this, and it it bothers me. It bothers me due to the fact that
like
I'm
the money's burning a hole in their pocket.
correct, and then I'm, you know me, I'm always asking, hey, what's your goals? What are you trying to accomplish?
Yeah.
I do that because I want to know, right? So when you tell me, hey, this is what I want out of life, yada yada yada, but then I see, boom, you get this money and it's just gone.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're not gonna ever reach that goal. You're never gonna reach that goal. And what's gonna end up happening is I'm gonna be like, all right, well, I guess I'll be blessing you instead of blessing someone that truly, truly needs it.
Right.
And that drives me away. That puts a fork in the situation. That's the reason why a lot of my past situations haven't been. I walked away from it because finances, that like, it's just management. I won't even say finances. A lot of times we say finances. I'm gonna say this: behaviors, because the finances, that's a product. It's the behaviors that cause that product to no longer exist. Right? The money is there. You can see the money. The behaviors that come about bothers me. So when I try to talk and help, but a person only gonna do what they want to do.
Very true.
But then you got to realize is that, and this is a lot of people stick in relationships but are miserable.
That's the topic. That's the episode itself,
right
there.
And they sit there and they deal with the same thing, but then they realize that, boom, they realize that the habits that they once had start to dwindle down, and then they start being the person that's saying, oh, let me go spend, and start to gravitate to the person that has bad behaviors when it comes to saving or doing their money. They start doing things wrong, and now you have two people that are going left instead of going in the right direction.
I agree. So it kind of seems like you were saying, like adding on, kind of going more depth. What I was saying, like really, like dating someone, really to your point, is about like discipline. Like, what are their disciplines? Like,
correct,
what are you practicing? What are your values? Because ultimately, you're gonna come to a point where you're gonna have to either choose your discipline or choose what you value. And if what you value at that moment is stronger than what your disciplines are, then you're gonna falter to that every time, right? Like you said, like if you want to buy a house, but every time you get paid, you trying to book a trip to Miami or book a trip here or do this or spend here. Like you said, you're never gonna get to that goal, right? Because like unless you just come into some money randomly, which doesn't happen often, you're gonna follow the pattern. Your life reflects the patterns that you follow. Correct. Or you implement. So I definitely think like it's definitely a further deeper discussion. I think a lot of people need to have that honest conversation because everyone's goals aren't aligned. Some people are okay with saying, hey, I just want to have my 401k. I just want to retire from my 9 to 5. be 60, 70 years old and just be retired and be fine. That is an okay, humble way to live your life if that's what you want.
Yeah.
But if you want, because I know I want a lot out of life. I know
say,
you want a lot out of life.
She can't be with me, huh?
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like your goals have to be in alignment in that regard. Like, I couldn't be with anybody else if I wasn't with an entrepreneur, because it's just like certain things I'm gonna do. Yeah, we can work on 9 to 5, but what else are we doing on the side? Hey, let's do an Airbnb. Hey, let's work on doing nonprofit organization. Let's work on these different ideas so that way we can ultimately do the things we want, however we want. But if your goals are drastically different, like if you're an entrepreneur and the person you think is a 9 to 5, and they're like, hey, I just have these pivotal milestones. I'm going to buy a house at 35. I want to have X amount of dollars in my 401k. I'm going to retire by X years. That might not be in alignment with you. Right. You're chasing greatness, and they're chasing what seems to be value to them. You know what I mean? And that's where a lot of issues come into place. Because no one that's working a 9 to 5 is going to understand why you spent $400 for a master class.
Right. They don't get it.
They would be like, that's a waste of money. You just got scammed. Because like your value, the intrinsic value in that isn't what you're paying for, because once you gather these skills or take this course,
it's a whole
what you
level.
Get back is 10x on what you paid.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
It's a whole nother level.
All about perspective. Definitely agree with you, man. How you feel?
I feel good.
Episode 3, man.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I feel, man, I'm stuck on this topic, bro. Listen.
Go for it. We got time.
If the man can't work at McDonald's and you don't want to talk to him, I'm sorry. That bro, if you saw, hypothetically, if you saw a young lady back in your days or anytime and she worked at McDonald's, would that matter to you if she was?
No. Well, it wouldn't matter to me. I would want to know what's the goal. So this is what I'll say. If I can't say no, I just got this from the source. High value requires high expectations, right? So in other words, like, I don't care where you're at in life financially. Where's your ultimate goal, and are you working towards that? Like, are our goals in alignment? Because it takes way too much precious time, which again, time is the one commodity that whether you're rich or poor, we both share, and it's very finite. It don't matter if you're a billionaire or you're working a 9 to 5, right? My time is my most important asset. So if I'm going to invest my time into you, I need to know that we're going in the same direction. Right. And if not, we can cut that short, and whatever it's going to be, and that's okay. But my time, especially longevity of time, compound time, I can't just risk that on anybody. So that's what I would say. Like, if you are looking to, date somebody either that's at your financial level or below, really understand not just what their potentials are, what are their goals, and what are they actively doing every day towards that. And if it don't align with what they're saying, then that's your answer. You're going to have a relationship that's not in alignment.
Boom. You hit it on the head. Because women, y'all don't look at us like that. I'm done.
I get both sides. Well, guys, thank you again. We'll be here for the last of giggles and education on the next episode of the Knucklehead Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. If you like the content, please, support, like, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments. And to Michael's question that he asked earlier in the video, give us your thoughts on those. All right? Thank y'all. Until next time.